Welcome to another Mission Shakeup. I'm your host, Rebecca Lindhout, consultant for adults and children at WMU of North Carolina. And this month it's going to be a really quick shakeup because you have so many resources at hand that you don't really need much of my help, I don't think, to navigate the week of prayer and all of the Annie Armstrong offering resources that you have. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And I'm going to take you to WMU of North Carolina. Because I think that might be a good place for some of us to start. So, Women's Missionary Union of North Carolina. And so if you're wondering where to get some of those materials for your Annie Armstrong Easter offering, if you want the videos for the missionaries and that sort of thing, and you don't have your DVD or it's easier for your tech person to do downloads, you're going to go over here to Give, hop on down to Annie Armstrong Easter offering. It's got some ways to give up at the top, but then right here is your Annie Armstrong Easter offering resources. This is a whole page about who is Annie, and you can download her story, and there is a lot of information about her life. But then also here, if you scroll over here, you can go to resources, all resources, and you will see the videos for each day of the week of prayer. And those are all about 1 minute to 2 minutes long each. And I think these are just really awesome resources. Also, just in case you are worried about whether or not you are going to get your materials in time, you can go to all resources again and go to digital, and here are the promotion ads, the promotion slides, logos, and those sorts of things. So your social media kit has so much information, your promotion slides, really awesome stuff. So I'm going to take us off of this page, but now you know where to find those resources. Okay, so we're going to go off of our PowerPoints. And then I'm going to take you to our WMU Missions Mosaic. And we're going to look at our week of prayer information. Okay, so it's going to start you on page 11 with United Call to Be One. And I want to scoot on over and just give you a couple of ideas for each day. Of course, each day has your, video, which is going to be great because there is really no better way to talk about the missionaries than let the missionaries talk for themselves. So I think that you could show each video, to be honest, in your missions programming. You have time to show the video for every missionary if you wanted to. And this might be one month that you would not get a guest speaker in, and just let this time of focus be on the North American Mission Board. So the first one, day one, is Kay Bennett, and she's at the Baptist Friendship House of New Orleans, Louisiana. She works with the homeless there. She also helps rescue women from human trafficking. And she has just such a beautiful story, and so many of the things that they do there are teaching women skills for life. They are the host site of CWJC, which is a Christian Women's Job Corps. And I just wanted to hop on over to World Crafts. And if you go to World Crafts and search for Baptist Friendship House, these are all the items that they make that are on our World Craft site. I think this is really neat for the women to see what these women are doing. You can invite them to buy from them. The proceeds goes directly to the Baptist Friendship House there. You can also go to the Baptist Friendship House of New Orleans here. And they've got, it'll tell you all about their ministry. It'll show you pictures from their ministries, but you can also go to How Can You Help? And they have a needs list, and you can send them stuff. They even have some things on Amazon. They have prayer requests, and that this would especially be a great page if you're going to highlight this ministry, their prayer requests are right there on the page. So, and you can go, like I said, they've got an Amazon wish list. Couldn't be any easier right then and there in your meeting. If you are tech savvy with your group, you can order things off of their list. And I just think that's amazing. So what a real way that you can actively show the ladies that they are helping someone who is involved in the North American Mission Board offering. All right. So let's head back over. Here is in your day 2, you have Virgil and Kinsey Brown, and they are in Portland, Oregon. And I love their story about how people start with doubt and curiosity, and how God has brought Kelsey's story of her church life full circle, and how the Redemption Church that her husband is pastor at was once the church that she grew up in, and that church donated its facilities to her church. And so if you want to skip on over to go with this one, they have a recipe under Loaf by Loaf, and you can take a look at that and maybe make bread, or encourage your ladies to use the recipe to make bread for new neighbors or neighbors in need. It said that she had given out, I think, 300 loaves of sourdough bread. Also, for your CWJC, well, your Baptist Friendship House focus, you might want to do this activity. This has a friend to those on the streets, and this is exactly what Kay Bennett does, and this is what they use in their hygiene kits or their bags. So maybe you want to make some of these kits for the homeless in your area. If you don't know any homeless in your area, just do a quick Facebook search and see if there is a rescue mission near you. So here's some more information about Annie. And then also, let me scoot back here. On page 20 is North American Mission Board at a glance. So if you are new to WMU, or you're not exactly sure what all the North American Mission Board does, this is a quick fact sheet for you that is just a really easy way to navigate and answer the questions of the ladies in your group. It's going to give you information about the Southern Baptist Convention. It's going to give you information about the SIN network. It's going to give you information about SIN Relief, which is our disaster relief both in North America and worldwide. So this is all really important, great information that you can get to your ladies, just quickly highlighting it and having them look it over. So those are 2 of them. Also, on day 4, we're in Alaska on the Alaskan pipeline. And I think this is such an interesting story about Philip Coleman and his wife. Oh gosh, what was her name? Andy. Philip and Andy Coleman. And they are in Alaska, and God called them to church planting there. Well, to basically come and pastor a church plant that had been planted by his church earlier, and the pastor left and they came. But here is a neat story. The thing that I would highlight about them is the adoption story. They became foster parents when they came to Alaska, and eventually there was such abuse in the home after trying to do some interventions with the mother and trainings and all of that. Eventually she lost her parental rights, and their child Elizabeth their foster child Elizabeth became their adopted child. And so one of the things that it highlights is that usually native children do not go to white families, and that the tribe, Elizabeth's tribe, had really embraced Philip and Andy Coleman and accepted them. And Philip and Andy Coleman also made the promise to raise up their child to know about her background as a Native American. And what I would really bring out about this is how this child has given them an introduction into the community and has helped them to be able to build trust within communities. And as a former children's minister, I can tell you that when you treat people's children well, it gives you a window into their homes, and it allows them to open their doors to you spiritually, I would say, and often physically. And children are so important in our churches. And children's ministry is so important. So this is a story of reminding the ladies in your church that your Children on Mission program, your Missions Journey kids, GAs, RAs, that is all vitally important to your outreach to your community. Use your GAs, RAs, Children in Action as an outreach to your community because children love to hear the stories of missions, and we love to tell them. So let's all work together and let our children be our greatest evangelists. Okay, and the next one is day 5, and this is the Grozias, Emmanuel and Loena Grozia. They came to pastor a Romanian church in New York. And what they found was when they went to that community, that the community had changed. It was no longer so heavily influenced by the Romanian culture, although there were a great concentration of Romanian people, but there were people from all over the world. Again, all God's people were right there. And so they began to really reach out to their community, and especially during COVID, they had a food pantry and they fed people in their community. They fed their first responders. They had a barbecue for their police officers, and it just really ingratiated them into the community. And their church has grown because they saw the greater picture than just the Romanian culture. But as a person who loves Romania, I lived in Romania for a summer. I'm going to teach you just a little phrase that you can teach your ladies in Romanian. Okay, so that is Iisus iubește pe toți. That means Jesus loves everyone. And that is from a little song that I learned. And the song is, who does Jesus love? Iisus iubește pe fiecare, pe fiecare, pe fiecare. Iisus iubește pe fiecare. Iisus iubește pe toți. So that's saying, who does Jesus love? Who does Jesus love? Jesus loves everyone. So again, that is Iisus iubește pe toți. All right, and our day 6 missionaries are Matt and Amanda Haddon, and they are working at the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. And the main way right now that they are ministering to the families in their community is through a medical clinic, a community medical clinic, and through construction. Matt has great construction skills, so he's helping to build tiny homes for the Lakota Indians there on the reservation, and to add rooms onto existing homes. So they are really using their construction background to their advantage. It says Amanda is executive secretary for the ministry center and director of a summer camp. She serves as a friend and confidant to women of all ages, and much of her time is spent talking with girls who have attempted suicide. She walks with them through their seasons of depression and anxiety. And this is something that we as WMU are so focused on for the next 3 years, is mental health. And it says that the Lakota Indians have a, 115% higher rate of suicide than the rest of the nation. I think 150 times the national average. So point that out, that our missionaries are encountering these mental health issues in their communities, and we have them in our communities as well. And the last one is Angel and Vanessa Viveros. And I think the thing that I would point out is that we often think about missionaries going overseas, but this is a story of Angel moving from Mexico City to the United States, to Nebraska, which was an area of high concentration of missionaries. I mean, not of missionaries, of Hispanic folks, and starting a church there. So God sent the nations to us. And so it's really interesting, I think, to point out to the ladies that God will use people wherever they are to further his gospel. So sometimes that's us going into the nations, and sometimes that's the nations coming to us. Each one, you can read all of that information yourselves, but look for ways to add something you can taste, something you can touch, something you can smell. If you do a search for Lakota Indians, of course, it's going to bring out a lot of information for you. But do Lakota Indian music, and there are YouTube channels that have people singing in their native tongue. I think that would be really interesting for people to hear. But there are all sorts of ways for you to reuse these resources. Let them tell their stories through the videos, and of course, remind your ladies to take home the brochures for the week of prayer, and really, really intensely and intently pray for missionaries across the United States and North America, including Canada, because they have such a powerful ministry. They're often challenged by so many things, like poverty, by communities with drug addiction, with suicide, mental health challenges, all of those things, all the things that we face in our churches. The missionaries often face those magnified in their communities. So please be in prayer for them. Don't forget to make that WorldCrafts connection with the Baptist Friendship House. And also the week of prayer is also Kay Bennett, the director of the Baptist Friendship House birthday. So remember to say an extra prayer for Kay and thank God for her ministry there in New Orleans. The last thing I want to do is remind you of some things that we've got coming up. We have the Host a Hunt for our My Mission project. My Mission is the 18 to 35-year-olds ministry through WMU, but My Mission is inviting you to join them in a hunt. So if there is a local rescue mission or a YMCA children's program or even a soup kitchen. I have hosted an Easter egg hunt at a local soup kitchen with the children in my church on a couple of occasions. And that is such a powerful thing. It didn't take much, a couple of hundred eggs. And then you don't even have to fill the eggs. That's one of the things is you can hide eggs that are not filled and just have a candy bag for the kids after the hunt. And the empty eggs can serve as a reminder to the children that the tomb of Jesus was empty. So it's a lot easier to make up the bags than to fill individual eggs. So don't forget to share the message of the gospel as after the hunt. Have the kids. Actually, I would do it before the hunt while they're waiting, and then and then also that way you get to explain the empty eggs, and you can tell them when they bring their eggs to you, they will get their treat bag, and you can explain to them then why the eggs are empty, because that would be kind of a disappointment, wouldn't it, to collect all the eggs and then they're empty and the kids will be like, I was robbed. So also, I want to remind you, the Host a Hunt, you can do that anytime in March or before Easter in April. I would try not to do it the 2 weeks, the weekend before or the weekend of Easter. Do it sometime in the last 2 weeks of March, maybe, when things are not so busy with churches. And then also, we have started a new leadership cohort. And so we hope that you will be a part of that. Amanda has information up about that on Facebook and on our website. We want to remind you to register for Ignite, our annual Women's Missions Conference and meeting, and take a look on our Facebook page for our sneak peeks of our keynote speaker, Julie Busler. She is just so engaging. Her story is so powerful, and she really speaks to our Project Help. She was a missionary in Turkey and had an emotional breakdown, basically, and had to be hospitalized in Turkey. But her story is one of hope and redemption. So I hope that you will join us for that. That is going to be May 28th and 29th. And then, again, make sure that your church is aware that the Annie Armstrong Easter offering season is upon us. and that you are highlighting that in your church. Make sure that you're meeting with your pastor about what that needs to look like and how you can help. So that's all I got for you this week. I hope that you enjoyed it, and take a look on our website for any additional materials that you might need. Again, remember that the Annie Armstrong materials are under Give, and you go down to Annie Armstrong. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.